Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, the exceptional one, Ken McClinton, welcoming you to the best in urban conservative talk. We are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republican and then the Socialist. So glad to have you all here tonight. A big show. You know Wednesday nights are always huge. Tonight we have Dr. Keenan Grenell with us. We're going to be talking about urban manufacturing. Yes, my friends, there is such a thing. And it may actually rescue America. We'll be talking with him about that. Then we have Lonnie Poindexter with us tonight. Ralph J. Chittams Sr., the Kraken, and Shannon Wright. We are in the midst of CPAC week, and yours truly and the TECN network will be broadcasting there tomorrow live at 3 p.m., Friday at 3 p.m., and Saturday at 10 a.m. We want y'all to be there. I want to give a shout out. Thank you, Ralph. All hail the dawn. Ralph J. Chittams is actually in the chat roll tonight. And Mary Brockman, my bouncer in chief, is in there too. If you diss her, you diss me, you will be dismissed. Claudia Cheek has joined us as well. We love you, Claudia. I hope y'all are relaxing with this groove. I like this groove here. After all of the hustle and bustle of early pre-CPAC week, I want y'all to relax for a little bit. It's going to get a little more raunchy as the year goes on. I mean, everyone's focused on what Donald Trump can do and not do, how incompetent he is, and how behind and dysfunctional his governance is in just the first 2 weeks of his administration, getting ready to have his State of the Union address next Tuesday night. So, ladies and gentlemen, and then you have individuals who are marching up and down the streets, hoping and praying that they get $15 an hour, basically bemoaning the fact that the world is coming to an end, at least the progressive world is coming to an end. And immigration on the lips of every American at this particular point. So much so that there are people who are on Capitol Hill who are backtracking right now, instead of enforcing the law, maybe we can get around the law, huh? Yeah, okay. So there's a lot that's going on tonight. Ralph J. Chittams said, I am very relaxed. After all, today is National Margarita Day. There you go. National Margarita Day. That's something to be joyful about. I also want to say this in announcement and also in Thanksgiving. For the past 5 years, we have been in partnership with High Plains Pundit Media, hptalkradio.com. And my good friend Dan the Man Butcher and his lovely wife Jane have been orchestrating great success with their news and commentary and talk radio. And just recently, he's returned back to the air. He's on 32 terrestrial stations around the country. And we applaud him and wish him much success. But as of today, we will no longer be broadcasting on HP Talk Radio or High Plains Pundit Media. We will miss him. We surely will. But unfortunately, business decisions have to be made, and uniquely, Dan the Man Butcher is going in the direction of making certain that his radio show receives all the attention that it deserves, and his focusing on writing at this particular juncture. So, send great smooches to Dan the Man Butcher. and also Jane, his wife. And we wish them great success. We wish them extremely well. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we do at this particular hour of our program. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we reach over here. We pick up this handy dandy chart. It's a little handy dandy, all right. A little heavy, isn't it? All right. And we pledge allegiance to the United States of America. Let the children lead us, please. For those who are following along at home, take off your hats first and foremost. Then place your right hand over your heart. For those who are watching via Ustream, there's some flags behind me, which you can pledge allegiance to. For those who are watching via live stream, there's a huge flag right there that you can pledge allegiance to. Also, for those who are listening live to us on SHR Media and those who will be listening to us at 2 a.m. on the Liberty Channel of Red Nation Rising, put your right hand over your heart, find a flag, pledge allegiance to. Kids, go ahead and take it away.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know that manufacturing is a huge concern in America. Job creation is also a major concern. And what we have found out over the past few years, whether you are pro-NAFTA or against NAFTA, it nevertheless has been a downhill spiral for manufacturing in America. You see, it seems that it's easier and cheaper to take our goods, well, at least our resources, overseas, have them built and assembled overseas, and then delivered back home. Cheaper how? Well, cheaper in the sense of not any longer worrying about individuals marching into your office and asking for $50 an hour to put together a car, or $15 an hour to flip a burger. So, in countries where the minimum wage is $1 a day, $3 a day, or whatever, however way they do it, quite frankly, they have been a boon. Our companies have been a boon to them, causing economic activity that has been lost to us. And so this is what I will say to you at this particular juncture. It is very vital, very important that we focus on economic development, and manufacturing is a part of that economic development. Tonight we're going to have with us in just a few moments none other than Dr. Keenan Grenell. And the great thing about Dr. Grenell is he's a down-home, spirited man. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he understands extensively what it takes in terms of turning our GDP around, and how the influence of the the American spirit is vital to that. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Try to get all this stuff together here. Okay. There we go. Okay. We're about to give him a phone call. There we go. And let us pick up the phone now and call Dr. Grenell, have him on the air live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we talk about manufacturing. His Global Capital Group, LLC, his consulting firm, is a sincere motivator, and as well, he is part of the Manufacturing Diversity Institute. Without further ado, let's get him on the line. Okay, I heard today, and I'm slightly jealous, there is a person at CPAC who has four producers for a live show. I'm like, wow. Someday, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I want to worry about the budget cuts for that because I don't need four. I don't need four. Wow. Must be not.
Hello.
Good evening and welcome to the Exceptional Conservative Show live from the nation's capital. We are live with Dr. Keenan Grenell, who is part of the Manufacturing Diversity Institute and Global Capital Group LLC. Thank you so much, sir. You're on the air live with us.
Well, thank you so much, Ken. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Wonderful, my brother. I enjoyed the Pledge of Allegiance with the kids. That's very special. I just want you to know that, believe it or not, some of those kids are our future in terms of our manufacturing business owners. They're going to be the linchpin in terms of creating wealth and jobs in this country. So you treat them with the utmost care.
Exactly. Now you hit on a point, and I'm gonna put a pin in it because I want to come back to that. I want you to instruct everybody in terms of your organization out in Milwaukee, and God bless you for being out there. But I do want to talk with you about the children of the future and manufacturing in America. But let's go ahead. What is manufacturingdiversity.org all about?
Well, the Manufacturing Diversity Institute, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the epicenter of the nation's manufacturing ecosystem. We are in business to ensure that individuals from underserved communities are successful in terms of employment in the manufacturing sector, but most importantly, in terms of manufacturing entrepreneurship. So I wake up each and every morning, sir, trying to make sure that I can tap on the shoulder of someone who is perhaps interested in starting a manufacturing operation, because I truly believe that that's going to make America great. I truly believe that if we're going to have a robust made in America, infrastructure, it's going to have to start with people who look like me, people who look like you, and people who run the gamut in terms of the overall underserved umbrella. We have 5 programs. One is a manufacturing idea challenge. The second program is an innovative veteran lab. We actually work with veterans. We believe that veterans have the type of unique skill set that will allow them to be significant business owners, especially in terms of manufacturing business owners. Mm-hmm. We actually have a micro equity fund. So we're in the business of actually seeding manufacturing operations, and we're getting ready to perhaps by the end of the spring make our first 2 investments. I can't tell you what those businesses are because I've basically signed NDA non-disclosure agreement forms, but I will tell you this. We probably have the potential of creating at least 170 jobs here within the Milwaukee area just that first year. We're also involved in Wisconsin business trade. Mm-hmm. And a trade mission to South Africa. Matter of fact, this same time last year, we took at least 2 of the 6 businesses were manufacturing operations. And then we have something which we call our Innovation Cafe. We have decided that on National Manufacturing Day, which is the first Friday, every October, that there's going to be a discussion somewhere in America as it relates to innovation and entrepreneurship and manufacturing within inner city. So we've done that for the first 3 years, and we're looking forward to National Manufacturing Day in 2017. So that's what the Manufacturing Diversity Institute is all about. And to be quite honest with you, Ken, we're the only institute of our type in the entire country. We're very proud of that distinction, but that means that we have a lot of lifting to do.
Exactly. And now a lot of people are listening to you tonight, and we have the good doctor, Keenan Grenell, with us. He'll be with us throughout the course of this particular year as we talk about manufacturing, economic vitality, political, and as well cultural changes that take place as a result. And a lot of people don't understand manufacturing impacts every part of the American culture. And do you find that to be true, sir?
Well, absolutely. Let's talk about some of the statistics. In terms of what manufacturing supports, it supports about 18.5 million U.S. jobs. Mm-hmm. Manufacturing comprises nearly 12% of our GDP. U.S. manufacturing is the 9th largest economy in the world. For every $1 that we spend in terms of manufacturing, it creates another $1.81 in terms of the economy. In terms of what manufacturing pays, I think that's why Donald Trump, our president, is spending so much time in that particular area, because he knows that manufacturing is perhaps the backbone in terms of all of the industries of creating a middle class.
Mm-hmm.
The average annual starting salary in terms of manufacturing is $60,000 a year. And then the average salary in terms of manufacturing workers in the United States is $77,000 a year. So manufacturing is very, very important to not just only our economy, but to our national psyche, to be quite honest with you.
Exactly. We're talking tonight with Dr. Keenan Grenell, and this is the type of individual that you'll hear on the Exceptional Conservative Show, the Exceptional Conservative Network, inclusive of Money Talk with Melanie Collette, because in our pursuit of doing business in America, we have to know exactly what works, what doesn't work, and we have to have individuals with great skill and oration ability to basically be able to express why manufacturing has suffered so greatly in America since the 1950s. Dr. Keenan Grenell is one of those individuals who can. You talked earlier about our kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and that is a very patriotic thing. But a lot of children have been raised in our country to believe this. You're going to need a 4-year degree. All of the ideas, the good ideas, have already been created. And anything that needs to be made can be made in China very cheaply and brought back here. So why are we pursuing manufacturing at this point? I mean, because we have you don't need degrees in manufacturing, right? I mean, is there even a manufacturing in America to talk of?
Well, to be quite honest, I have challenges with everything you just mentioned, because first and foremost, no, you don't need a 4-year degree in order to be involved in manufacturing.
Yep.
But because I spent close to 20 years in higher education, I'm going to beat the drum for education. I truly believe that the next generation of manufacturers are going to be the ones that are going to really embrace what I call education at the highest level. Because think about manufacturing. In its progress, it is no longer manufacturing as our parents and our grandparents knew it. You just can't walk into a manufacturing employable opportunity anymore. You just can't start a manufacturing operation without at least having some semblance of embracing, education.
Yeah.
So it's important for our young people to know that to stretch as far as they humanly possibly can in terms of education, because the smartest, innovative, creative people are going to be the ones that are going to be the next, CEOs and presidents and of manufacturing juggernauts.
Mm-hmm. Now,
simply, now in terms of employable opportunities,
yes,
manufacturing is now advanced manufacturing. You have to have a unique set of technical skills in order to be employed in manufacturing. So, again, it's not our mom and pops and grandparents manufacturing as we used to know it.
Exactly. And when in my generation, and I'll date myself, there was the Bethlehem Steel in U.S. Steel of Pennsylvania. There was the Ford Motor Company. There was the GM in Detroit in the early 70s. And so those were vibrant institutions of economic success. What exactly happened to manufacturing, do you believe, in America that led us to the point where we once had nearly a third of Americans in manufacturing and now only about 18 million?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I call it mobile capital. Capital is mobile. And so, yes, they moved manufacturing offshore. They moved it into foreign source because of cheap labor and what have you not. But now, to be honest with you, if there's going to be a manufacturing renaissance within the United States, it's going to basically not come from those major giants in terms of industry. I can appreciate the president sitting down with Dell International, International Paper,
Mm-hmm.
Under Armour,
Mm-hmm.
Ford and Caterpillar and all those guys. But if there's going to be a true, especially in terms of the inner city and urban landscape, it's going to come from cottage industries. It's going to come from small to medium-sized manufacturers. Because to be quite honest with you, those size manufacturers, they're the ones who employ the majority of United States citizens in the manufacturing sector. So that's going to be a game changer right there.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had the great pleasure of meeting you at the Trailblazers Awards ceremony just about a week or so ago. And you had spoken with former Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll. And I want to ask you, for states like Michigan, like Wisconsin, like Pennsylvania, how have they reacted to the huge loss of manufacturing jobs? Is it too late? Is it not enough? Is it too much? Or what is it? What is it that states should be doing right now to stimulate economic productivity?
Well, first and foremost, they need to be doing two things,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to kind of connect it in terms of the constituent group that I program for. First and foremost, that needs to be a heavy dose of workforce development training.
Okay.
Because again, it's manufacturing, and the United States assets in terms of its manufacturing infrastructure has changed dramatically, and so states are going to have to put a lot more emphasis in terms of worker training, job training, because people have the requisite skill set to be employed. Here in the state of Wisconsin, there are plenty of manufacturing jobs available, but the problem is that manufacturing opportunities now require advanced manufacturing skills. Okay, and we don't have the number of people who have those skills.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to go to the Milwaukee Area Technical College, MATC, to seek out these skill sets. They need to be able to go to Gateway Technical College down in Racine and Kenosha to be able to seek out these technical skill sets, things of that nature. The other thing that they should do is really put a lot of emphasis in structuring systems to create underserved manufacturing owners, because those will be the individuals who will employ people in the inner city. They will be the individuals who will give inner city residents their first crack, their first opportunity in terms of gainful employment in the manufacturing sector. The state of Texas had actually, at one point in time, creating a Secretary of Manufacturing for the state of Texas. That idea came from the Institute for Innovation, Creativity, and Capital at the University of Texas at Austin. What if several states decided that that was something that was so important that they would actually go about the business of creating a brand new cabinet level position in terms of manufacturing? What kind of overall state infrastructure would that have? What kind of impact would that have on cities within those respective states?
It would be immense, I suppose. It would take it very... See, and I have to query you on this one, because a lot of people bemoan the fact that Mexico, China, Taiwan, North Korea, South Korea, and certain other countries like Ireland have taken our jobs, the our jobs thing. And what you're talking about in terms of workforce development and training, most people thought that was done during the course of public school education, teaching kids to be on time for work, exploration by hand in the science classes, expanding their minds through math, and teaching them how to critically analyze through English. We thought all that was being done in public schools. Have public schools failed the manufacturing industry?
Yes and no.
Okay.
In terms of perhaps some failure in terms of public schools, you remember when you and I were coming along back in the day, and I don't want to date myself as well. We had shops. We had industrial arts in our school system.
Yep.
We don't make anything in our public school systems anymore. Okay. However, there is a caveat here, and there is an asset, and that asset technology. And so, it used to be reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now it's reading, writing, and the new competence, coding. So we need to make sure that kids that look like us, and kids that are from the underserved communities, are involved in coding, are involved in programs that introduce them to manufacturing, are involved in activities on National Manufacturing Day. This past October, we connected with the Digital Manufacturing Design and Innovation Institute, which is one of 10 national network manufacturing institutes in the country. People don't know about these federally funded institutes, but the reason I'm mentioning that is because they had a demo day as part of their Manufacturing Day program, and they brought kids from public schools in Chicago to go through the institute to see the new technology, to be able to hear about the role that digital manufacturing will play in the overall manufacturing industry. So we got to be able to connect our kids with the assets that are out there as it relates to manufacturing.
Now, you talk about digital stuff. When people think of manufacturing, they think, and this is why, those who happen to be in urban America, they think you're talking about building factories. It ain't no room for no factories in urban America. Where you going to put a factory in the middle of downtown Washington? Isn't that what people think about in terms of factories? But you're talking about completely upgrading the concept here.
Oh, yeah. Well, to be candid with you, the large manufacturing floors that employ 300 to 1,000 people, those are dinosaurs. Those are bygone eras. We're talking about small to medium-sized cottage firms that perhaps produce small batches for specialized customers. So, that's going to be the renaissance in manufacturing. That's a very large manufacturing shop floors that take up, say, 130,000 square feet. If it is, it's going to be sectioned off whereby you're going to have several manufacturers in that kind of space that's probably going to take up no more than 30 to 40,000 square feet.
There you go. So when you talk about 30 to 40,000 square feet, most people think of you needing like 100,000, maybe 250,000 square feet to do a manufacturing. What you're talking about is that old Safeway that was shut down in your neighborhood could become a place for manufacturing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And what a lot of people don't realize is that science, technology, engineering, and math has actually added a letter to the acronym. It's now science, technology, engineering, arts, and so the art culture right now is going to perhaps connect and collide at some point in time with the manufacturing industry. So there's all type of innovative and creative possibilities within manufacturing. But no, the large shop floor, that's a bygone era.
Exactly. And so you're talking about, because Claudia Cheek in the chat roll is asking, and thank you so much for being here tonight, Claudia. Any opinion on how the increase of robotics will impact the future market?
Well, absolutely, it's going to impact it tremendously. I gave a TED talk in Chicago about the third week in October for commerce, and basically part of that TED talk was talking about advanced manufacturing and especially digital manufacturing as it related to robotics. Part of my talk was basically saying that, Skynet is here. I don't know if you're a huge Terminator fan, but the machines have taken over, literally. It's not going to take 300 and 400 people to produce something. All it's going to take now is a smartphone with an app. There was a facility that shut down somewhere around Schenectady, New York.
Yes.
I think it might have been a GE facility. Well, the manager or supervisor of that facility was at home. He brought that facility back online based on him keying in a couple of things in his smartphone, and all of a sudden that struck that facility and shut that facility down was back operating and back online. It didn't take 500 people to do that.
Exactly. Dr. Grenell, got to ask you in finality here, because I want you to come back next month. I want to talk with you about that, because there are going to be a lot of things that are happening with our tax laws, with healthcare, and a few other things that impact manufacturing greatly. And also NAFTA is one of those particular subjects. But I want to close out with this question to you. There are at least 500,000 people around the country listening to you right now. And they're saying to you, sir, this is not going to work. Manufacturing is old school. You're probably talking about spending a whole lot of tax dollars to supersize some building and make it state of the art. And more importantly, with 50% of black teenagers to age 25-year-olds unemployed or unemployable, with an unemployment rate of 15% in urban America, and you know what it's like in Milwaukee, uh, literally, they don't have the skill sets to do what you're talking about. So how is this going to positively impact them, this Manufacturing Diversity Institute?
Well, first and foremost, it's going to impact them in terms of the opportunities that it will create for them, in terms of a new set of skill sets that will make them employable, but also a new set of training that will entice them to create, to be the next generation of manufacturing owners. Let me just give you a stat here. There are 12.3 million manufacturing workers in the United States. That accounts for about 9% of America's workforce. I doubt that there's anyone that's listening that doesn't think that 9% of the United States workforce is not worth a consideration for anybody in terms of future employment as well as business opportunities. We can't miss this. We can't sit on the sideline and watch somebody be creative and innovative and be a product that they're going to sell not only in the United States, but to 95% of the rest of the world's consumers. We have to be in the business and the ball game of being involved in this sector. If not, then let somebody else do it.
Exactly. Listen, Dr. Grenell, you know for a fact, because you traveled to Washington, D.C., that the majority of people in Washington, D.C. are very liberal, very progressive, but they make up 20% of my listening audience. So I know that they're not conservatives listening here. But they are concerned about unemployment. They are concerned about reelection, because only with a good economy do most politicians get reelected. And so how can they get in contact with you to create, quote unquote, the new initiatives that are necessary to employ those with low skills and get them back involved in high paying manufacturing positions?
Well, first and foremost, they can reach me via email, and that's kdg3050@gmail.com. Again, kdg3050@gmail.com. They can go to my website, www.manufacturingdiversity.org. And most importantly, they can reach me by cell, 315-750-0279.
Okay, and you're willing to go to any city and talk with any of those guys about the things that's necessary to bring manufacturing back to urban America?
Absolutely. It's important that we have these kind of conversations because, let's face it, we're in a global economy.
Yes.
And some of these jobs that we think that are going to come back to the United States, they're not coming back. So what do we do in the interim? We be able to unleash a whole new legion of innovative and creative people. You got people who are minorities and women and veterans who have been working for years in large manufacturing operations. What if those individuals had an aha moment and decided to themselves, you know, I know the purchasing process. I know the products that they buy. I know the corporate culture. Why don't I think about becoming a part of that supply chain? So there are opportunities for smart people out here. They just got to take that leap of faith and be aggressive because guess what? Money don't wait on anybody.
Mayor Muriel Bowser, I know your people are listening to my program on the down low and wanting to get some good notes. I'm going to encourage you to get in contact with Dr. Keenan Grenell, MDI Executive Director. You can get in contact with him at 315-750-0279 or go to manufacturingdiversity.org, Mayor Bowser of Washington, D.C. If you really want economic development to take place in Washington, D.C., you need to talk to this gentleman about what it takes to bring manufacturing back to America. It's just that simple. Dr. Grenell, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much. Be blessed, and you all have a tremendous show. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And by the way, even though I work and live in Milwaukee, I'm a native of Cleveland, Mississippi, and extremely proud of it.
All right, dude. All right. My peeps are from West Point, Mississippi. God bless you,
I know
man.
exactly where West Point is, Point City.
Yes. All right. We got to talk, bro. We got to talk.
Golden Triangle area.
See, that's what I'm talking about, people. I got some roots. God bless you, sir.
Take care, my man.
All right. We're going to have Dr. Grenell come back. I want y'all to know that there is a lot going on in America. And we have a lot of talk that's going on in America, but we have to get beyond talk, people. We got to get some things done. We'll be right back with more of the best of Urban Conservative Talk, the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital.
Hi, my name is Willie Lawson of The Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. They told me that I needed to be humble, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I decided to be awesome instead. That's The Willie Lawson Show, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. here on the Exceptional Conservative Network.
Have you heard the news? There's more to Prime than free. 2-day shipping on shoes. There are tons of movies ready to stream. It's like living in a film lover's dream. More to Prime. More to Prime.
I want to join. How much should I pay?
You can sign up for a free trial today. So let's say it one more time. There's more to Prime.
Hi, it's your business diva here, Melanie Collette of Money Talk with Melanie on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m., we talk all things money on a global, domestic, and household scale that affects you and your wallet. You don't want to miss it.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon and you're Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Live on SHR Media.
And on TECN.
Where we'll be talking about all kinds of things.
From sports and politics.
To food and entertainment.
To money.
Family.
And anything else in between.
Community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press, Live, Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy, because the truth is not always pleasant. From the war front to the streets of our nation's capital, men of faith, Dr. Michael Jones, the underground professor, and Kenneth McClinton, the exceptional conservative, bring both constitutional gravitas and spiritual perspective on today's issues to the most influential Christian urban talk show, 9:05 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays. It's a new day on New Day, Black and Red.
Welcome to Lion Chasers, where faith and public policy intersect. And now, your lion chaser in the good fight of faith, Lonnie Poindexter, on Urban Family Talk.
We're not saying that there's not instances where there's no racial injustice in the world. This is America, and people are human, and there's sin in the world. He's a president of first. He's the first president to say that America is not a Christian nation anymore. But, we'll pray for our enemies while we defeat them.
You can't blame folks for messing up the city. There has not been an elected Republican in council in Baltimore City in over 50 years.
And the co-captain's chair with me today, Reverend Ralph Chittams. What's happened is the social justice movement has now been hijacked by a godless movement. Don't be bamboozled. Ladies and gentlemen, Frederick Douglass was a gun-toting conservative. It's not a black or a white issue. It's a God versus anti-God issue. And I know those would say, well, it's all rigged. It's all a game, Lonnie. I get that a lot. And they're the crew that has their bags packed at the train station waiting for Jesus to come back. We'll be here in a minute. Not train, not a train, not a wasn't Jesus. But he's coming. Meanwhile, Rome is burning. The host of the Black Man Thinking radio show. Welcome to the show, Stanley Levy.
Good morning, Ronnie. How are you?
The core issue, the big elephants are in the home. We got to do away with the entitlement programs and the things that hamstring us.
And that's where the conservative viewpoints really resonate for my generation.
I want to welcome to the show the host of the Exceptional Conservative Show, and that's my brother Kenneth McClinton. Welcome, brother.
Lonnie, it's an honor and privilege always to be with your ever-expanding audience.
Let your listeners be lion chasers with Lonnie Poindexter. If Lion Chasers sounds right for your station or network, contact Will Addison by email, waddison@afa.net. Encourage your listeners to be lion chasers with Lonnie Poindexter and Urban Family Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce one of the most humble men in radio, and he will publicly tell you how humble he is, I want you all to know that we are in the process of bringing to SHR Media and TECN the Lion Chasers radio program. We're going to work on how to do that coming up in the next few weeks, but we're going to make certain that you get the very best in urban conservative talk, and what better than to have an urban conservative Christian pioneer and icon, none other than Lonnie Poindexter himself. Good evening, sir.
What's happening, Don Vito? Let me come on your wonderful show.
Well, thank you, sir. Are you still schmoozing over at CPAC?
No, actually, I just got back. In fact, you caught me. I'm actually headed en route back to the home office. Had a great day out there, hanging out with you, and had a chance to shake some hands and, press the flesh with the luminaries out there at CPAC. As I'm sure you know, it's going to be a great time this week for us, Thursday and Friday and Saturday, man. And I'm really excited about the potential of what's going to take place with the Exceptional Conservative Network, working with Urban Family, and then, the connections that we'll make here at this event. For those who want to come on the show. Anyway, I ran into Burgess Owens while I was there and told him about the Exceptional Conservative Network and the new things happening there. And he's going to be there. He's meeting Friday morning, so I told him if he could stop by the Exceptional Conservative booth, that we try to work him into a radio spot while he's there. He's got a pretty packed schedule. So folks who don't know who Burgess is, he's written a wonderful book whose name, I can't think of the wonderful name, like liberalism is for wimps and wussies or something like that.
Exactly. Burgess Owens he's been on our program several times.
The Open Raiders.
Exactly. He's been on our program several times. He is a prolific pioneer in the National Football League, a Super Bowl champion, and a great author as well. And listen, we are looking forward to interviewing him and so many others at CPAC. And I want, I'm not that excited at CPAC. I'm a bigger fan of Freedom Fest. But I saw something tonight that I had not seen in the history of CPAC, at least since I've been there. There were people who were excited to be there tonight.
Yes, there's a renewal of enthusiasm, brother. It's contagious. We talked with David Webb, also ran across some other folks that were there as well, that they're picking up on it too. See what took place, Ken, and we saw last year was, the church showed up in the polls and voted their values, so it brought about the change. And no one saw it coming the way that it came down. We know God's hand was in it because nobody predicted that Donald Trump would have the chance of an ice cube in hell, proverbially speaking, and yet he prevailed. But what he did is it woke the church up.
Yes.
So I think what's going to happen with CPAC is, it's been in decline with years with trying to marginalize itself and try to be all things, all people, thinking about Milo and then having another keynote speaker being one of the shining examples. But the church pushed back, and that's why they canceled Milo's appearance at CPAC. So now, I think the church is going to really take back. I was walking the halls of Media Row there today, and I saw many Christian radio organizations in the booths there. See, we can be about the change. We can drive change in CPAC whether they want it or not.
Exactly. You had Don Crow there, and a number, Scott James from down in Valdosta, Georgia. There was a litany of do you know, I ain't seen that many Christians at CPAC. You know what I'm saying? Christian radio at CPAC. Have they won the hearts of conservatives back, or is this just one of those things where people are kind of testing the water just to see if things are moving in the right direction?
I think that the church is taking back ground. We know how to fight. Mm-hmm. And I think we learned how to fight again. And it took this crass New Yorker to stir us up. One thing about Donald Trump, with all the faults that he has, he didn't mind fighting.
Yeah.
And if I can quote, who was that? Was it Lincoln? Who talked about Grant, when they were complaining about Grant, because they said he was a drinker and he was rude and all this kind of things. And Abraham Lincoln responded back, yeah, I know all that, but he fights.
Yes. Yes.
Fight that will fight. I think the church is learning how to fight again. We got to fight.
Now, one of the
we saw it CPAC today.
Exactly. I'm amazed at what I saw tonight. And really, if you came to me and I wasn't there and you told me that there were people like Don Crow there and others who were lining up, setting up next to the Blaze and next to XM Radio and all the others, I would have said, nah, you're deaf. That can't possibly be happening. But it is happening right now. We are at CPAC this week. We will be broadcasting tomorrow at 3 p.m. We will be broadcasting live from CPAC Friday at 3 p.m. And we will be broadcasting live from 10 to 1 on Saturday from CPAC. I'm excited. That's a first for me because I've been there. But the thing that excites me the most is when you were speaking with David Webb of Fox News and the David Webb Show, you mentioned the fact that you were part of an organization that's creating a 24/7 urban conservative radio format, meaning black conservatives were going to be on the network. Did you see his facial expression when you mentioned that to him?
Yeah.
He was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. How long has he been in the fight? And he's been fighting. And so, I'm going to pitch it. Like I told you, hey, I know how to pitch things. I'm going to get your elevator pitch together. Well, yeah. I've got to meet somebody and in 40 seconds get the message out to them of what we're doing. And so I just distilled it down to that because that's exactly what's taking place. And it's going to resonate with people. And tomorrow people are going to hear it. Everybody we talk to, we're going to be talking about this. God's doing something. We can give nobody credit but him for what he's doing. I'm just glad that we have a chance to be a part of it, have ringside seats to see what God's going to do because God's children are willing to stand up and fight. We're willing to get out there, get in the mix of the battle, fight, take the slings and arrows, get muddied up, stay on the ground because that will motivate the people across America to understand that we can write all America.
Wow. Now, when we came in, because here's the other thing, and I'm going to let you go because I know it's been a very long day. And the rest of the weekend is going to be pretty long too. But when we walked in, there were people that would say at CPAC, there are no black people there. I don't know why you all spend any time. When we walked in, we were greeted by a number of black conservatives. I was absolutely floored at that point. Your thoughts on that?
We met, and let me see if I can find the card.
Was that Jeff Kors?
This young man who walked. It wasn't Jeff, because we met Jeff. But a young man walked up to me and gave me and Miss Melanie the business card of an organization I had not ever heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Black Conservative Federation.
Wow.
Elevating the Black Conservative Movement. And the young man was excited to find out about what we do. His name is Dante Johnson. Walked up, slid 2 cards to me and also to Melanie. And I was actually on the phone call with Pastor Arthur McGuire, who was excited to find out what's going on. And we've got to get him on the show as well.
Yeah.
And so I said, Melanie, go flag him down and give him my card, but also tell him what we're doing. And so Melanie did that and came back and said, Lonnie, he's so excited, he gave you a bunch of cards. young black conservative.
He couldn't have been more than about 23, 24 years old.
This young man, yeah.
From Phoenix.
Did we see that last year? No. This year, I'm telling you, tomorrow we're going to see a paintbrush of folks with the darker paint job at this event.
Exactly. And TECN will be there with Shannon Wright, Michael Wright, Lonnie Poindexter, Ralph J. Chittams Sr., Melanie Collette, Deborah Frazier, and myself. We will be there. We will be covering that. We got a picture from Melanie. She took a picture of her press pass. And she said, this is my first media credential. And I am just so proud to see Melanie Collins in huge print. Pardon me. And beneath it, the Exceptional Conservative Network. And I want to thank everybody for their work and making that come to pass. But I also want to thank you, Lonnie, for even considering bringing Lion Chasers Radio to TECN. I really appreciate you, brother.
Well, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a win-win. I can't wait to get things rocking and rolling, and I'll be talking. My people will be talking. Your people will talk to my people, and vice versa.
Awesome. Lonnie Poindexter, man, get rested. Tomorrow's going to be a very big day, I can tell. All right, brother. God bless you, sir, and have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, it was amazing, the experience of walking into CPAC. One of the individuals that will be covering CPAC will be joining us in just a few. Ralph J. Chittams Sr., he is known as the Kraken, and we're going to talk with him about a number of things that are going on in America, including immigration, but especially CPAC. And my golly, I want you all to know something. This guy is a rabble rouser. He started something amongst the media team of TECN, and it was a knockdown, drag out. And I assure you, we'll talk about that coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, without a shadow of a doubt, there's much going on in America. And just as many people are concerned that change is not happening fast enough, there are people who are concerned that change is happening at all. And so I'm going to encourage you with all of your heart, with all of our hearts, with all of our mind, with all of our strength, to remain steadfast and immovable in this particular hour. We have won, and if we continue to win, if we continue to focus on winning, not only will we change America, but we will change the hearts of men. Ladies and gentlemen, and I hope y'all took a picture of that. And this is why I love the chat, the Euro Pacific Bank Limited TECN chat room. You can see the picture of Melanie's press badge. I am telling you, if I can't make this announcement until next week, I'll find out some things tomorrow, but I really want to be able to announce something to you tomorrow afternoon if I find out. TECN is about to blow up. Seriously, it's about to take off like you've never seen before. This network is about to do stuff like you've never heard or never seen before, and it will be urban conservatives making that particular change. Stop waiting for the rest of the world to catch up with you. Keep pioneering, keep being a trailblazer, and you will change the world, and they will finally catch on after your visionary spirit has passed them by. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this break with more of the best in urban conservative talk. Next up, the Kraken. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's your business diva here, Melanie Collette of Money Talk with Melanie on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m., we talk all things money on a global, domestic, and household scale that affects you and your wallet. You don't want to miss it.
From the warfront to the streets of our nation's capital, men of faith, Dr. Michael Jones, the underground professor, and Kenneth McClinton, the exceptional conservative, bring both constitutional gravitas and spiritual perspective on today's issues to the most influential Christian urban talk show, 9:05 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays. It's a new day on New Day, Black and Red.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, TECN Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than Stackhead Sean and Stackhead Clint. And we're working on some integration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best late-night conservative talk, TECN Radio.
Part two. Radio.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Hi, my name is Christopher Arnold. I'm the executive chef of Infused Restaurant, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the meals that we prepare here. We're making a pizza. We use fresh Italian sausage that we cook here and slice it up. Our pizza dough is in-house made. Our pizza sauce is in-house made. So everything is fresh ingredients. This is our Thai curry chicken. The sauce is made with coconut milk and a Thai red curry. It is juicy chicken thighs as well as some mixed vegetables, served with jasmine rice and pita bread. So now we're going to prepare our famous blackened tilapia and grits, our fish and grits on the menu. Once the fish is ready, then our meal will be complete. Let me tell you about our infused beef burgers. When we kick the spice up just a little bit with our infused sauce. We start off with 80-20 USDA ground chuck ham patty burgers, like half a pound of burgers, and we're gonna grill it to perfection. After I flip the burger, we add the sauce and let it cook on into the meat just a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of pepper jack cheese to this burger to spice it up a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland is the place to be. 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland. If you're coming to CPAC this week, you need to stop there before you leave town. It's just that simple. You just need to find a cab or something. Get Uber your way out to Infused Restaurant and ask for the exceptional one. Now, Rick Trader I met tonight, and I love Rick Trader. Rick Trader is like a father to me. He's a mentor to me. And I love him dearly, and I love Mary Brockman more than he loves Mary Brockman. Just saying. But Rick Trader said that I looked like I had lost a lot of weight, and that is true. I would not, if I could eat every single day, the exceptional one at Infused Restaurant. It is 2 1-pound patties. It is 8 pieces of bacon, any fixings you want on it, any bread you want on it. This big. It's huge. And I ate it on the show one night to show you. That is a huge meal. And ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to eat it as often as you possibly can. It is a sensational food source. It really is. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to tell you that tonight is Sackheads Radio Night, SHR Media. And tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on shrmedia.com. Go there, shrmedia.com, to listen to Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, the Bloviating Zeppelin. Now, I know Bloviating Zeppelin has been very ill recently. And I don't know if he will be there tonight, but certainly it's more than enough just to have the great one himself, Sackhead Clint, and also the benevolent one, Sackhead Sean, who knows racism like no one else's business with us. But I will also be on the show tonight as well. So if you get a chance, tune in tonight, 11 p.m.
Forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Right. Okay. We were trying to call Ralph J. Chittams Sr., but he's such a busy man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a big Burger kid. The word has got out, bro. Thank you, Dave. I want to thank everybody who's in the chat room tonight. Dave, Super Scuba, Milner. Also, Ralph J. Chittams Sr., White Mamba, Claudia Cheek, Smooches. And, of course, last but not least, in fact, greatest of all, Mary Brockman, my bouncer. If you diss her, you diss me, and you will be, dismissed from the program. I swear, I want a burger like that. The Kraken is polishing his talents. He probably is. I can't wait to release him tomorrow at CPAC. That's going to be fun. Good evening.
Good evening. Rising from the depths, dripping wet with the good news of conservatism to educate, conservative, and obliterate the socialist. It is the Kraken.
The Kraken! Ralph J. Chittams Sr., who is principal at Black Elephants LLC. Did I say that right this week?
Yes, Black Elephant Consultants LLC, yes.
Okay, great. And I will make sure that that's noted in there the next time. And Black Elephants Consultants LLC is a powerful group of individuals who work to make certain that those who used to have no resources for running now have someone who can arm them with victory in elections. So you need to get in contact with Ralph J. Chittams Sr., principal at Black Elephants Consultants LLC. How can they do that, sir?
Go to the website, www.blackelephantconsultants.com. And from there, you'll be able to reach out to not just me, but our other excellent consultants. They'll also be able to link to my radio show, The Wright Guy, with Ralph J. Chittams Sr., and they'll also be able to link to TECN and everything that we have going on. So if you go to that one website, www.blackelephantconsultants.com, it will point you everywhere you need to go.
Now, I want to thank my good friend here, Ralph Chittams, better known as the Kraken, for his support of Milo. He went out of his way to make sure that Milo Yiannopoulos would have an opportunity to speak as keynote speaker at CPAC. He worked fearlessly to make certain that this man would have an opportunity, and it was the gosh darn GOPers that shut him down. I'm so proud of you, Kraken. Great job, sir.
Why are you doing that?
Dude, you started a fire on Sunday night. I thought it was kerosene, but it was nuclear. Man, what happened?
Well, when the story broke that Milo was going to be the key, at CPAC, and other organizations started backpedaling and saying they weren't going to attend, simply asked the question among the owners on the Exceptional Conservative Network, should we go?
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought that was a discussion that needed to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At the ownership level. So literally, I just asked the question, and then I disappeared for 12 hours.
Oh, man. It was like you dropped a stink bomb down a silo, and no one else could escape, man. Oh, my goodness. Now, Milo was molested. He says that it was one of his great sexual experiences.
That's how he's describing it now. As molestation. But at the time, he did not describe it as molestation. In fact, he said that in some ways, he was in fact the sexual predator who had gone after the older person.
Wow. I believe also in that same cut, because we played it the other night on our show, in that same cut, he said that there was no real problem with man-boy relationship. Now, Kraken, I want your earnest opinion, and we're going to let him loose because he's going to go. It's going to happen right about here. Is there any problem with a GOPer supporting man-boy relationships?
There is a problem with any human being.
Thank you.
Supporting a sexual relationship between a grown-up and a child. Now, let's understand that the age of consent varies in this country from state to state, and around the world it differs from country to country. Now, if I happen to live in a state where the age of consent is 13,
mm-hmm.
and I find out that some dude, 20, 21, had a sexual relationship with one of my daughters who was 13 years old, the only case that the state's attorney would have to litigate would be the one for me for murder.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, but he made it sound like somehow we were misunderstanding the natural relationship, the bond, the great resolve of a relationship between a man and a boy, and that it fostered the best sexual experiences of his life.
But also, he then backtracked to say, he really shouldn't have said boy. He should have said young man. But then when you look back at it, at part of the interview, he agreed that the age of consent was okay at 13, 14 years old. Well, I don't care. That's still a child. And so if you tell me that the age of consent is, if you're okay that the age of consent is 13, 14 years old, that tells me that you support pederasty.
Now, Claudia Cheek puts in there that Milo retracts. He declared that he is absolutely repulsed by child molesters and dismissed the outrage as a coordinated effort by anti-Trump conservatives to him removed from CPAC, or to have him removed from CPAC. I do not support pedophilia, period. It is a violent, disgusting crime.
What he finds violent and disgusting is people who are attracted to prepubescent children.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he finds vile and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Those individuals who are attracted to prepubescent children. But from his own mouth, he said that he thought that the age of consent around 13, 14 was just about right. So I so I will give him that he finds people who are sexually aroused and have feelings for prepubescent children, he finds that morally reprehensible and repugnant.
So
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But he also said that the age of 13, 14 is about right for the age of consent.
So he's not a Mohammedan, but he certainly is a pervert.
I don't know what his religious bent is, so I can't say whether he's a Mohammedan, an atheist, or a Christian. I don't know what Milo is.
Yeah, and
but what I will say is he is a young man that is definitely in need of counseling, because he even said in the interview that he would be a better person if he were not a homosexual, and that for him, his homosexuality is more a product of culture and environment, and it is a choice.
Yes.
Those are his words.
That exactly was his words, which makes him, he's not really LGBTQ or STUVWXYZ then. He's not part of that, is he?
Well, no. Most of the people who claim to be homosexuals are, in fact, not homosexuals. Most of the people that I have found in my experience, having been friends with countless homosexuals, they are actually bisexuals, but they are choosing to live an exclusively homosexual existence. It's a matter of choice. And even Milo stated that song by Lady Gaga, I'm Born This Way, that song is not backed up by science.
Yeah. Now there's some people who are concerned that zealots like you, sir, Christian zealots who are conservative, are trying to hold back the party from reaching out across the aisle and touching the other side, especially the prepubescent side, and making them a part of our political process. What say you, sir?
I don't try to keep anybody out of anywhere, but now are we talking politics or are we now talking faith?
Well, isn't it best of both? I don't know if it's politically correct to go around telling people that you want NAMBLA to be the official representative of the GOP, nor should we be anti-Christian either by saying that those who basically shine a light on you and show that you are pro-pedophilia for teenagers, that's wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong in this regard?
Well, first thing first, NAMBLA promotes activities that are illegal, period.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, NAMBLA cannot be the official organization spokesperson for any organization on the face of it. NAMBLA can't even be the spokesperson for the DNC.
And that's really saying something.
Okay, so anybody who embraces NAMBLA, there should be a big dark hole in the bottom of a prison someplace where they just rot and die.
Exactly. Want to also get your opinion this week. Apparently, the Trump administration is working on rolling back some protections for transgendered students. Apparently, I don't know about you, but this is what I've read or heard through the Washington Post, is that the Trump administration today revoked federal guidelines specifying that transgender students have the right to use public school restrooms that match their gender identity, taking a stand on a contentious issue that has become the central battle over LGBT rights. So I have to ask you in this regard, because we know that this is going to eventually go to the Supreme Court. Does Pookie, who pretends she is Ray Ray for a day, have the right to go in the men's bathroom?
No. Well, and also, while you were on air, it was reported that the Trump administration is pulling the guidance that the Obama administration put forward, telling schools to allow these individuals to use the bathroom of their choice. So that guidance from the Obama administration has now been pulled So schools now can make that determination on their own without any federal interference. But see, here's a huge problem with this transgender nonsense.
Yeah.
I was reading an article earlier this morning about this girl that's transitioning to be a boy taking testosterone of the transition process. Well, she competes as a wrestler.
Oh my!
She competes against girls.
No!
She is jacked up on testosterone. So, needless to say, she has a complete unfair advantage physically over these other girls who are wrestling, to the point that some of the other girls' parents and the girls refused to wrestle her out of fear that they would get hurt. And needless to say, she won the tournament. Well, see, that's the problem with all this transgender nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
How can she's still a she,
yeah,
jack up on male steroids, be allowed to compete against girls with estrogen, knowing full well that she has a competitive advantage due to chemical manipulation?
Well, who allowed her to do this in the first place? Or she?
You have to talk to the school systems and the sports authorities. They wouldn't let her wrestle against boys.
Why not?
Because she still has girl parts.
She doped up like a guy.
Wrestle against girls, even though her testosterone levels are through the freaking roof.
Oh my God! That would be like asking Tom Brady to take some steroid shots before the Super Bowl and to see what happens in that first quarter against Atlanta. You know,
right? But this is supposed to show you the insanity. Now, see, the problem is, and let's be grown up and let's be honest about this.
Mm-hmm.
Transgenders have been using the bathroom of their choice for years.
Yes, absolutely.
And typically, a real transgender person, all they want to do is go into the bathroom, poop, pee, get the hell out, and draw no attention to themselves, because if it's a guy who's transitioning to be a woman, he wants to be treated, identified as a woman. He doesn't want to bring any attention to himself, and likewise in the other direction. What Obozo did with his transgender nonsense is he wrote something that was so crazy that somebody like you can, with a mustache and a goatee, can walk into a ladies' room anytime you want, simply declaring on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that you feel pretty and nobody can stop you.
Oh my God! Now I want to ask you that in both of these stories,
that was the problem with the law.
Exactly. Now in both of these situations, and then you have North Carolina who changes the law back because they don't want Michael Jordan to not be happy in North Carolina. They passed a law saying that you can use any bathroom of your particular choice, thanks to the Democrat governor that they have now. So I want to ask you, does that ruling or executive order by the president affect North Carolina in terms of their decision recently?
Well, if it comes down to a state law issue, then the guidance being pulled back from the Trump administration would have no effect, because now we're talking about the states' rights issue, which is where a lot of people think this should have been in the first place.
Exactly. But now we have ultimate confusion going on here. The same confusion with same-sex marriage. The same confusion with marijuana. The same confusion with sanctuary cities and immigration. There is a battle between the progressives at the state and local level and conservatives at the federal level. Who's going to win?
Well, honestly, I don't see it that way.
Okay.
Honestly, how I see it is right now, the heart and soul of America is being fought at the spiritual level between the forces of good and evil. Since 1973 with Roe v. Wade, the forces of evil have been on a winning streak.
Yeah.
Because the church retreated back into its walls, disengaged from society, and basically they were preaching to themselves. What we have seen with the ascension of Donald J. Trump into the White House is a shift in the culture of America where the winning streak of the left has come to a halt. And now, just like the demon in the New Testament, that Saint Jesus went completely berserk because he knew he was about to lose. What we are now seeing is the evil on the left going completely berserk because they see the culture of America is shifting back to where it always should have been.
Wow. We're talking with the Kraken tonight, Ralph J. Chittams Sr. This is part of CPAC week. Ralph, we went there tonight, and there was a lot of excitement at CPAC. And I just want to know, is that because of Donald Trump, or is it because conservatives have taken back the Republican Party?
Well, we haven't taken it back yet.
Yeah.
But like I said, what is happening is the tide has changed. People are sensing that there is a shift in the culture in this country back toward godliness, back towards righteousness. And yes, Donald Trump being elected president was part of that shifting tide. And that is part of the reason for the excitement at CPAC, because people are seeing light at the end of a dark tunnel.
Now, before you go, there are two issues that may cause D.C. to lose home rule. And I want to talk with you about that because we got a lot of down low listeners from Washington, D.C. who listen to this program on a nightly basis. And they can't believe our opinions. But apparently, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Jason Chaffetz, is leading a movement to stop the Death with Dignity law approved by the D.C. Council and signed by Mayor Bowser. And he's also leading a charge from that same committee regarding the district, regarding sanctuary cities. And so I want to ask you your thoughts regarding Mayor Bowser's chutzpah regarding sanctuary cities and the Death with Dignity law.
Okay, I'll start with the Death with Dignity law. Mm-hmm. If I were Jason Chaffetz, I would take that bill and send it back down Pennsylvania Avenue to the Wilson Building, and I would tell Mayor Bowser, do your damn job, either sign it or veto it, and then I'll deal with it. But I'm not going to let you play footsie with this thing so that you don't ever have to take a position one way or another. So I wouldn't act on it. I would send it back down Pennsylvania Avenue and tell her to sign it or veto it, and then send it back up to the Hill. Mm-hmm. Now, regarding the sanctuary city, if Mayor Bowser insists on, maintaining the status as in D.C. as a sanctuary city, which means that they're going to use taxpayer money for people in the country illegally fight deportation, which is one of the things that they are vowing to do, which may cost the district upwards to $1 billion.
$1 billion.
And $1 billion, that's with a B.
Mm-hmm.
And also, don't forget that with Obama, the Affordable Care Act imploding under its own inefficiency and weight, the District of Columbia could stand to lose an additional $1 billion. That's with a B. So, with the sanctuary cities, we could lose $1 billion. With Affordable Care Act, we could lose $1 billion. If that happens, understand very clearly that Mayor Muriel Bowser will be the last mayor of the District of Columbia, and she will go down in history as the mayor who cost D.C. home rule.
Now, let's just be a little more kind here, Kraken. I'm quite certain she's fighting hard for the constitutional rights of our citizens to protect the taxpayers' wealth and collections, and to make certain that U.S. citizens are put first in the District of Columbia, and thus working cohesively with the federal government, as this is a federal district, right?
So I guess you weren't listening to me for the last 5 minutes. And I said that they were taking money to help, taking money, taxpayer money, to help illegals, people in the country illegally fight deportation.
Wow.
Now, see, this is just as stupid on the East Coast as what's currently happening out west in California with Governor Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown right now is facing a $1.9, I think, billion state shortfall, and in an effort to save money, he is rolling back a scholarship program for middle-class families to help them pay for college tuition. At the same time, he is raising tuition across the state, and at the same time, he is giving more funds to help illegals get college educations in the state of California. So he's using taxpayer dollars not to help citizens of the United States of America. He's cutting their scholarships, but he's going to give those in the country illegally even more money so they can get college degrees. So see, this stupidity runs coast to coast.
There you go. You're absolutely right. I want to ask you in terms of what other particular thing this particular week, and that's regarding the immigration issue. We received notification by President Donald Trump that there would be a strengthening of enforcement and deportations of criminal, and I'm going to repeat the word criminal, and maybe I've gotten a poor understanding of what criminal is, but criminals who have come into the country illegally. And I want to get your thoughts on that. Are we being unsympathetic to the women and men and children who have been in this country for 20 years illegally, who are now going to be forced out of public schools in Chicago to go back to Mexico?
There is no statute of limitations. If you, one, came into the country illegally, you're a criminal. If you came into the country legally through a work visa, education visa, or whatever visa, and when that visa expired, you didn't leave and you stayed, at that point in time, you became a criminal. Period. End of discussion. Now, as far as these dreamers are concerned, well, when my mommy brought me here when I was 2 years old, I had nothing to do with it. You know what? You're still here illegally, and you should not be able to benefit from the illegal act of someone else. Sorry. You have to go back with your mother. Period.
But you have a president. You have a president who isn't really doing that with the DACA. He is allowing still the same number as was under the Obama administration to stay here illegally because they haven't done any crime. Is that fair?
I disagree with that policy because your mere presence in this country is a crime.
Thank you. Now, you say that, but there are a lot of squeamish Republicans like John McCain and Lindsey Graham and a few others in the Senate who are unabashedly ashamed of being Republican and will not.
But that's because, see, if you went to the zoo to visit them, you have to go to the rhino exhibit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kraken himself, Ralph J. Chittams. How can people listen to you on radio, and how can they get your advice and counsel preparing for 2018?
Okay, well, I'm on the Exceptional Conservative Network Monday through Friday, the Wright Guy Show from 4:05 to 6 p.m. Come right here to the Exceptional Conservative Show website. Click on the PM. Come on down and listen. And please reach out to me. Go to blackelephantconsultants.com, www.blackelephantconsultants.com. There's a tab where you can send me a note. Please read the blog post, and it'll also give you links to the radio show. And I look forward to hearing from any of your listeners. I would love to communicate with them.
Come on down to CPAC, everybody, and give some loving up on this big man, who is you can tell he's a teddy bear with the progressives.
I love him. I love everybody.
Ralph J. Chittams Sr., the Kraken himself. You got to listen to his afternoon drive time show. It is firstly, it's the most substantive show on radio in that time period, and then secondly, it is the most hilarious. This man knows how to bring out the jokes and everything that progressives do. God bless you, sir. Have a wonderful evening.
God bless you too. Good night.
Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Kraken himself. We will be back with more of the best urban conservative talk on the Exceptional Conservative Network, the Exceptional Conservative Show tonight, with none other than the diva herself, Shannon Wright. Pastor Shannon Wright will be joining us in just a few. But we have to roll out the red carpet, and we have to get the stylist in here, and she's got to drink a Chablis and everything before she comes out. So we're going to play a few commercials, and then we will talk with Pastor Shannon Wright about everything political and maybe even the Ascot man from TV One.
Hello, I'm Donovan Larkins, pastor of Spirit of Life Christian Center in Dayton, Ohio. But I'm also the director of Shekinah Ranch and the Shekinah Ranch Protecting Innocence campaign. And today I want to just share with you some of our materials that we've developed so that you too can be part of promoting prevention, education, and safety awareness to youth. We have now our Protecting Innocence t-shirt. It's a powerful marquee or billboard that you can purchase and wear yourself that brings awareness that children need advocacy. It's a powerful, powerful piece. It's simply a picture of that with this marquee here with some additional wording on it, and you will want to be a part of that. We have posters that any of you pastors or any of you community centers, you may want to obtain some of these posters and post in the recreation center. It would be great to post this in the foyer of your church. It would be awesome for you to post this throughout the schools of your community. Involvement is what's necessary. Involvement is what makes the difference. We know that in order for evil to triumph, all that is necessary is for good men and women to do nothing. And then we have these little marquees. You can order 100 of them, you can order 50 of them, and you can pass them around to your family. You can pass them around at a family event or a local event that you're going to be at a festival or something. These are very handy, they're very cost efficient, and they make a powerful statement. They really make an impact. And then we have our Protecting Innocence ribbon. And in this package, it's not only just the ribbon, but it also has a message, a safety awareness message, actually a tip. And the tip encourages parents to exercise scrutiny with the relationships that your children are involved with. Today, we see more and more children being victimized by teachers, by coaches, and by other people, other supposedly trusted individuals. And we have to prepare our children if we plan for them to be safe. And then you will want to be involved with the overall Protecting Innocence campaign, because we're making plans right now to build a retreat recovery center on our 150-acre campus where Shekinah Ranch is housed. And you can get this brochure. We can email it to you. That way there's no cost associated with it, so that you can learn how you can join our Protecting Innocence teams. We are communicating with people globally, all over the world, that are interested in how together we can protect children from dirty, evil child molesters. We love to have you on board. We need your support. We want your prayers, and we welcome your financial contributions. Again, I'm Donovan Larkins, Shekinah Ranch Protecting Innocence Campaign. And by the way, camps are coming, so call us so that you can register your child at 937-422-6029. We'll see you later.
Is your PC causing major headaches? Now there's an easy way to make your computer run like new again. Introducing System Mechanic, America's #1 PC performance software. System Mechanic scans your entire PC for over 200 different types of errors. It then automatically fixes even the most stubborn and frustrating PC problems, restoring full speed and stability in minutes. Visit runlikenew.com to try it free.
Meet Jason. He was really excited to start growing his business with social media until he realized how complex and time-consuming social media can be. It's difficult to manage multiple social networks and accounts. It's hard to monitor what's happening on social media, follow discussions, and engage with new followers. It's time-consuming to publish updates throughout the day, track and analyze how effective posts are, respond to fans and followers in a timely manner, and gain new customers. The list seems to go on and on. Jason quickly becomes discouraged. How could he ever do all of this and still run a business? He was ready to give up on social media until he found eClincher, the easiest way to manage social media. Jason was amazed how straightforward and simple it is to use eClincher. With eClincher, Jason is now able to leverage the power of social media without having to dedicate several hours a day. He can easily organize all his social media accounts in one place, efficiently plan and schedule his posts ahead of time, engage with his followers, understand the effectiveness of his efforts with powerful analytics, find new customers, and much more. In order to tell your business's story, simplify the process of managing your social media, and analyze results, sign up with eClincher today.
Hi, my name is Christopher Arnold. I'm the executive. With home values up and interest rates near all-time lows, you probably know that now is a great time to refinance, like the Johnsons, who save $436 a month.
$436 a month?
It's simple. Just go to LendingTree.com, compare loan offers for free, and see how much you could save in just 5 minutes.
I thought you said the bank gave you the best rate.
Yeah.
LendingTree. When banks compete, you win.
I have to do everything myself.
Someone is sleeping on the couch tonight.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, coming soon to ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon. You're Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Live on SHR Media.
And on TECN.
Where we'll be talking about all kinds of things.
From sports and politics.
To food and entertainment.
To money.
Family.
And anything else in between.
Community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this has been a very relaxing and chilling evening. I know that you've really relaxed after listening to the Kraken and to the excitement of Lonnie Poindexter and the great witness about manufacturing in America by Dr. Grenell. So we want to talk with someone who is noted for not her elegance, not her vibrant nature to bring out the very best in political conversation, but someone who's rowdy and obnoxious. Yes, my little baby sister, Shannon Wright, who is the hostess of the Right Way with Shannon and Mike every single morning, Monday through Thursday at 7:05 a.m. on TECN and SHR Media. Want to introduce to some, present to others, the vivacious and hardly tolerable Shannon Wright.
What was that last phrase there you used? You said barely tolerable? Is that what you said? I swear that's what I heard.
No. I said it was simply lovable. Simply.
Yeah, that's not what I
heard. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly one of the great sweethearts of Baltimore, Shannon Wright. And first and foremost, I want you to take a moment to talk about a loss, well, at least a matter that's being handled within your family, and also goes towards what we're doing with Open Heart Closed Case.
Oh, boy. My friend's nephew, Travis, has been missing for a month and a day. And it's been difficult. You don't know what to do. You don't know. I mean, you know the steps, but it's a little bit different when it's you. I've been expecting to talk about this. So you really just do the steps and reach out to the police department and making up flyers and getting folks to share posts and getting eyes in the air where we know he was last seen, and all of those sorts of things. And
now,
it's been an interesting process.
Exactly. Would you describe him for us, and where he was last seen, and a telephone number, if possible, for any way that individuals who might be listening tonight who may have seen him, may know who you're talking about, may have uncovered him somewhere, come across him in passing, could possibly assist in helping bring him home?
Sure. Well, his full name is Travis Evans. I'm pulling up he's a little guy too. He's 22. I'm trying to put the flyer in the chat. He's 22 years old. He's been missing for a month and a day. He was last seen in Brooklyn. He left his home in Yonkers, to Manhattan, apparently got on the wrong train, ended up in Brooklyn, where he went through a diner, and they ended up calling the police on him. He just seems like he was disoriented and needed some medicine. They found him without his coat, without his wallet, without his phone. So he got lost. So the police officers took him to a hospital in Brooklyn and arranged for being made to have him transferred. Travis suffers from bipolar disorder and mild schizophrenia. He has some issues that we've all been dealing with as a family. And so that means for this past month and a day, he's doing without his medication. So that makes it a little bit more difficult for him to be able to resolve the situation on his own.
Now, did he have any? Did he have any money with him or anything? Did he travel any? Did he have relatives that he liked or whatever, and wanted to be a part of, or per se?
He did in Manhattan. He was going to see friends actually in Manhattan. He had some money on him, but that was again a month ago. We really have no idea. He was released from the hospital. He was supposed to be transferred to where his doctors were, and somehow there was a miscommunication, and he ended up being released. He then turned up in the system in court in Brooklyn. We attempted to get him back, and they kind of fell through again. So the last place that he's been seen was in Brooklyn. He is 5'5" and about 135 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes.
Okay. Are there any special things on his body, maybe a tattoo, or does he wear glasses or anything of that particular nature?
No glasses, no tattoo, no nothing like that.
Does he answer to a nickname or anything of that nature?
No, really. No. Travis, yes. That's what he answers to.
Okay. Well, we want everyone in America to help us find Travis and help us find him tonight. He's been without his medication for over a month. He's been away from people who love him for over a month. He may have been able to get by for a couple of days without cash on him, but certainly if he has been around friends or family or others or whatever, his support it has dwindled greatly. And so we're encouraging you to do everything that you can. If you see Travis, if you've heard of Travis, if there's someone who's new in your community that you don't recognize, who needs help, who is 5'5", African American, young, 23 years old, make certain that you get in contact with the police as soon as you possibly can. And Shannon, is there a contact number that people can connect with to help in this particular avenue of exposure?
Yes, actually there is. Hold on one second, I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
Okay. The Yonkers Police Department. The number is area code 914-377-7900.
Okay, can you repeat that just once more very slowly?
914-377-7900.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, get that number, put it in our chat roll, and we're going to work on getting that young man's face out there in our chat roll as soon as we possibly can, and around the country. You may have seen him. He might still be in Brooklyn. He may be outside of New York. It's been over a month. We're concerned about his well-being, his safety, his health, his overall well-being. And you can help us tonight. Bring Travis home. Make it possible to bring Travis home. Do it tonight. White Mama says, yeah, that is a sad story, especially for a younger guy with some special needs. Can only hope and pray that someone come across Travis's path and some sensible people will be able to assess the situation. And I totally agree with you in that regard. And as chairman of Open Heart Closed Case campaign, we want to do whatever we can to bring these particular issues to the fore, to the light, so that they can be solved very quickly. Whether you're in New York or Timbuktu, it doesn't matter. Losing someone that you love, either through unsolved homicides or missing persons or sexual abuse, is unacceptable today. And I love the fact that and I have to let everyone know that no, she's not really my baby sister by birth or biological, but she is by spirit, my baby sister. And so I want you all to help my baby sister find Travis and bring him home. Everything else will be taken care of after that. And she happens to be the chairperson for Open Heart Closed Case in Baltimore. And we're working together on these particular projects. We want to make certain that not just our children, because we've all lost someone who was close to us or been involved in something of that at the TECN family, but everybody in America. We don't want to see children lost. We don't want to see missing persons, unsolved homicides. And so if you see Travis, who's 5'5", and about 23, 24 years old, and contact the Yonkers Police Department so that we can bring him home. Now, after that, I'm quite sure you want to talk about politics, right?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Sure. All right. But I want to ask you tonight regarding CPAC, because you will be there. I don't know if Michael will be there, but your expectations of CPAC, and what does CPAC mean to urban conservatives like you?
Well, it means a little bit more about its keynote speakers can change. Did I say that out loud?
Now, why did you want his voice to be silenced? Why? I mean, he's been fighting the good fight. It doesn't have to be silent. It just didn't need to be there. Why not? I'm not trying to take anybody's constitutional right away. I'm just trying to protect my rights and my ears. Now, it's conservatives like you who are anti-Trump, who's trying to keep Milo from speaking, and you don't really understand the fact that he's matured over the past 24 hours, and he no longer likes pedophilia, or wants to apply to be a member of NAMBLA. And he's appalled by all that. Why can't you accept his apology and let him speak at the event? I accept his apology. Mine is not to judge. But it's not for me to not let him speak either. I just really voiced my opinion. And what was your opinion, young lady? My opinion was that was not the place for that. Why not? He was going to speak about Berkeley and fighting against people who were trying to suppress his voice and keep him held down. So he was going to speak about Berkeley, where they also canceled. But that's wrong. It's just wrong. And you Christian conservatives have cost him a book deal worth millions of dollars, and he had to resign from Breitbart. Wow. Well, I didn't have a hand in that. My feelings on the issue is this: you're grown. You can do whatever you want to do. You and whoever you believe in will discuss that when you get to the other side of wherever it is you believe you're going. And it's not for me to judge, but it is for me to live by certain principles in the book that I go by. Mm-hmm. That if you don't go by that book, that is certainly your prerogative. I just know the things that I am supposed to accept or not accept. And how I'm supposed to go about that. That's all I can do. There you go. Well, Milo will not be there at CPAC this year, and Shannon Wright will be. Shannon, you'll be doing your show live tomorrow, and I just want to ask you one last question because we're going to have to go in about 60 seconds. But why is it that you put on a false facade of Baltimore by being on Roland Martin's show? You make people think that Baltimore is elegant and sweet and nice. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure where to go with that one. It is an experience, I can tell you that. It is certainly an experience. My job, wherever I go, is to be me and to make it clear what principles for what platforms and where I stand in terms of, again, that book that I study from. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the vivacious Shannon Wright, the star, next to the biggest star, Mike, in the morning. We love her dearly. The Right Way, 7 a.m. Be there tomorrow morning on TECN. Go to theexceptionalconservativeshow.com and click on the TECN AM tab so that you can listen to her live. Listen, if you don't remember anything else that we said tonight, I want you to remember this. God bless America. It's time for America to bless God. We will see you tomorrow night. Love you.
Right back at you.
All right.